श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। ஷீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्यं कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे வேதாந்தேசிகம். ஈரொன்று தோப்பாது வேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானேமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
So we saw this full verse, of course, with the meaning. Ghasraihi meaning within 3 days. So all these were finished, all the demons. So we go to page 178. So apadishya venkatesham swahasta samsakta tulika tulyam abhaya pradana saram guru prasadaha swayam vyalikhati. So let us understand the meaning after reading the first paragraph. பொன்னை இகழ்ந்து விருகங்கள் புல்லிய புல்லுகந்தால் மன்னரெடுப்பத பொன்னலதே மண்ணுலகனைத்தும் தன்னை அடைந்திடத்தான் அருள் செய்யும் தனிச்சிலையோன் பொன்னடி நாம் அடைந்தோம் புறமாறென் கொல் செய்திடிலே. புறமார் என் கொல் செய்திடிலே. Now, apadishya venkatesham swahasta samsakta tulika tulyam abhaya pradana saram guru prasadaha swayam velikhati. Swahasta, one's own hand. Second line, swahasta, one's own hand. Samsakta, attached. Tulika is generally brush. But here it can mean the writing instrument. தமிழ்ல எழுத்தாணின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அதுக்கு இங்க யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். எழுத்தாணி, the nail with which we write in the manuscript, the palm leaf. There is a special.
Even for all painting also tulika.
That is brush, generally brush. This is a sharp instrument like a nail. But tulika is brush. So as you said, to draw pictures, tulika is used, brush is used.
No, it is a writing material. No, it is a writing and painting material.
Chisel is something flat in the end. That's what I understand. Chisel is to pointed, yeah. pointed needle. Needle you can say. ஓலைச்சுவடிக்கு எழுத்தாணின்னு சொல்லுவோம். But Swami Vedanta Desika is careful in putting this word, tulika tulyam, equal to the brush. That's all. எழுதுகோல் போன்றவரான.
Correct.
So apadishya meaning keeping him as what you call guise, Guise. That means shock, Tamil shock. Keeping Swami Vedanta Desika as guise, as a cause. Swahasta samsakta tulika tulyam. He is equal to the writing instrument, attached, stylus pencil. Stylus is for there was we were writing with the stylus pen in a particular paper, which is called Ronio. In the Ronio mission, we could take a lot of copies by writing on stencil sheet, right? So we were using stylus on stencil sheet. The stencil paper is very, easy, but of course, writing on many years we used in the institution to write only on the stencil, especially question papers were written in stencil, and many copies can be made and distributed. But here, what is the special meaning is Swahasta Samsakta. Tamil Ahapattan போட்டிருக்கு. Whatever is caught in the hand, whereas it is Guru Prasadaha, grace of the teacher, the sympathy of the preceptor, Guru Prasadaha. Prasadaha, blessing from the preceptor, Guru Prasadaha. Swayam Vyalikat, the mercy of the preceptor, the blessing from the preceptor wrote the Abhaya Pradana Saram. Vedanta Desika is so humble not to claim that he is the author of Abhaya Pradana Saram, but he says, so Abhaya Pradana Saram, the essence of gifting or granting protection, that is fearlessness, was written by Lord, Guru Prasada, the grace of the preceptor. Of course, first preceptor is Lord Sriman Narayana, and therefore Guru Prasadaha Swayam, by himself. That is by itself, we say when we translate. So the grace of the preceptor is writing this or wrote this Abhaya Pradana Saram by itself. So Tangal Kayil Agapatta Eludugol Ponravarana Venkateshan. Venkatesha is the original name of Vedanta Desika, given by parents. So என்கிற தேசிகனை ஒரு வியாஜமாக வைத்துக்கொண்டு, ஸோ அப்பதிஷ்ய ஆச்சாரியர்களின் அனுகிரகமானது தானே. ஸோ ஆச்சாரியர்களின் அனுகிரகமானது குரு பிரசாதா, பிளெஸிங்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஆல் டீச்சர்ஸ். ஸோ யூ ஹேவ் டு டேக் இட் இன் ப்ளூரல். ஸோ குருணாம் பிரசாதா in plural. So of many preceptors like Nathamuni, Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya, and of course all many other preceptors. We say in Tamil, Manakkal Nambi, Periya Nambi, Alavandar is Yamunacharya, Uyyakondar. So all these are all preceptors to Vedanta Desika. பெரும்போதூர் வந்தவர்கள் பெரிய நம்பி, மணக்கால் நம்பி, நன்னெறியவரை குறித்த உய்யக்கொண்டார் நாதமுனி. And also Shatakopa, Nammalvar, Vishwaksena, the security staff, and also Vishwaksena, and of course finally Mahalakshmi also. Mahalakshmi was also the preceptor. So Guru Prasada, Gurunam Prasada. தானே இந்த அபய பிரதான சாரம் என்னும் கிரந்தத்தை எழுதிற்று. ஆச்சாரியர்களின் அனுகிரகம் எழுதி வைக்க இது எழுதப்பட்டது. So this is what you call as we say Satvika Tyaga, which we had yesterday for the Kataka Masa Ravi Sankramana Dinam. And therefore, it is called Anena Atmana Katra. So by me, who is the instrument in the hands of the grace of the preceptors, wrote this Abhaya Pradana Saram. Apadishya Venkatesham Swahasta Samsakta Tulika Tulyam equal Abhaya Pradana Saram Guru Prasadaha Swayam Vyalikhat. Alikhat itself means wrote. Vyalikhat means wrote well. Wrote well. That is the beauty in Sanskrit. Adding a preposition to a dhatu, a verbal root, will enhance the value of the action. Vyalikhat. Here, this is about Rama. I think if you go down, you can see the source. No, it is not given here. Okay. So this is a Tamil quotation. I think we must find out where from this Tamil quotation. So let me read again the text, the page. பொன்னை இகழ்ந்து விருகங்கள் புல்லிய புல்லுகந்தால் மன்னர் எடுப்பத நலரே மண்ணுலகனைத்தும் தன்னை அடைந்திட தானருள் செய்யும் தனிச்சிலையோன் பொன்னடி நாம் அடைந்தோம் புறமாறன் கொல் செய்திடிலே. So let us find out whether it may be from Deshika Prabandham. Right. Deshika Prabandham. That's what I guess. But we must pinpoint of which Deshika Prabandham again. So here, so you can let us look at the meaning now. So பொன்னை இகழ்ந்து
இல்ல பிகினிங்லயே தீரொன்று தூப்புல தான் அந்த இதுவே ஆரம்பம். மொத்தம் எல்லாம் இந்த 18-19 ஸ்லோகமும் ஆரம்பத்துல முதல் ஸ்லோகமே சீரொன்று தூப்புலாம் ஆரம்பிச்சு தான் அவர் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காரு. 1, 2, 3 எல்லா ஸ்லோகமும் 19 ஸ்லோகம் அதுல வந்துருக்கு.
எந்த தேசிக பிரபந்தம்?
அது நான் இல்ல பார்க்க நினைச்சு மறந்து போயிட்டேன்.
So let us take the meaning. Let us go to the last paragraph in the page. Sakala loka adaraniyamana. This is out of the verse, out of the quotation. Many people, the whole world values gold. All the people consider gold as the most valuable object. Sakala loka adaraniyamana. Respected by all the worlds. Even the gods in heaven, even in Vaikuntha, Nitya Vibhuti. So Swarnam is very important. Gold is very important. So Ihand, relegating the gold value to the background. That means without caring for the gold. Mrigangal. So what happens to the animals? The animals only take grass. They don't know the value of gold. Not only they don't know the value of gold, they don't need gold also. They need food only. So alpamana trinam modaliyavatti virumbinalum. So there are many types of items of food which are rejected by animals. For example, the camel's favorite dish is thorns because it grows in deserts. So camel's favorite food is thorn. It won't take any other food willingly. And again, there are so many things which we say in literature, we do not know exactly. The dog will not eat sweet food. The dog will not eat payasam. It will not drink tirukkanamadu. That's what we say. A donkey dislikes some food. There's a list of animals which do not like certain items of food. So even if it is best food for the human being, most liked food for the human being, Animals do not consume such best food. For example, the cat is only taking milk, nothing else. It avoids all other food. So it is said here, of course, the comparison is only analogy, it's not simile. So, மிருகங்கள் அல்பமான திருணம் முதலியவற்றை விரும்பினாலும், though the animals will not take except the grass, அல்பமான திருணம், flimsy object, and an object without value. So, அல்பமான திருணம் முதலியவற்றை விரும்பினாலும் ரத்னவாசி அறியும். So, they may know. There are people like kings, அரசர்கள், ரத்னவாசி அறியும் அரசர்கள். Now the bracket is wrong here. The bracket should close with விரும்பினாலும். Then you have to read continuously, ரத்னவாசி அறியும் அரசர்கள். Kings will know, people belonging to royal family will know the value and the difference between among the 9 gems, Navaratna. Generally, sapphire, Vairam is supposed to be Vajram, we say in Sanskrit also. So, Vairam also in Sanskrit. So, Vairam also means enmity in different contexts. So, here it is Vajram or Vairam or sapphire is the most valuable among the 9 gems. We have got other values also, Manikyam, Maragatam, Neelam, Komedakam, Pushparagam, and so on. So these are all some gems which kings can identify the difference in value. So எடுத்துக்கொள்வது அப்பொன் தவிர வேறில்லை அல்லவா. So though there are gems, valuable gems, gems cannot be one W-O-R-N in our limbs, because only when you attach them to gold, only when the gems are inlaid in gold, we can use them as jewels. And therefore, the most valuable object is metal, is what we call yellow metal. Yellow metal is very important, and therefore, appon thavira verillai allava. The kings buy gold in order to make jewels of different gems. Adupola, in the same way, Vivekigalana Namum, this bracket words are not available in the Tamil quotation. Because we have discrimination, so Namum, we too, because of the discriminative power, Vivekigalana, so we know what is the best and what is the worst. So, உலகில் உயர்ந்தோர் தாழ்ந்தோர் எல்லோரும் தன்னை ஆசிரியிக்க. Lord is approached by all people, high and low. So, இவ்வுலகில், in this world, உயர்ந்தோர், people of high status, that is quality, so that means staunch devotees. தாழ்ந்தோர், those who do not think of the Lord, atheists. So, எல்லோரும் தன்னை ஆசிரியிக்க, when all of them are surrendering at the divine feet of here Rama, அவர்களுக்கு அருள் செய்கிற ஒப்பற்ற வில்லாளியான ஸ்ரீ ராமனுடைய அழகிய திருவடிகளை அடைந்தோம். Vedanta Deshika says, we are now surrendering at the divine feet of, beautiful feet of, comely feet of, handsome feet of, divine feet of the Rama, Sri Rama, because he has a very great archer. He's a very great archer. He is the best bowman. So, Villaliyan, Oppatra, unparalleled Villali. He is the best archer without any parallel. Arul Shekhira, Avaralukku Arul Shekhira. Without the differentiation of status, namely with the quality called Saushilyam, he favors all people, whether they are good or bad, high or low, in any, with any distinction whatsoever, he gives succor. Sri Rama gives succor, shelter, extends protection. So வேறு வழிகளை செய்வதால் என்ன பிரயோஜனம் உண்டு? So பிரயோஜனம், advantage, use. So what is the use of? It's a question mark. So what is the use of doing anything else except surrendering to the beautiful divine feet of Rama? So there is nothing else. There is no other way which is advantageous. No other action is useful, more useful than this. Alpa palangalai ஆசைப்பட்டு ஓடினால், when we go after flimsy objects which are not valuable, then alpa palangalai, when we go after what you call silly results, then when we run after them, then நாமும் மிருகங்கள் போல் ஆவோமே ஒழிய. So we will also be equal to the beasts, animals, four-legged animals. So நிலை நின்ற ஒரு பிரயோஜனமும் இல்லை என்றும். So our usage, our advantage will not last long. நிலை நின்ற ஒரு பிரயோஜனமும் இல்லை. No advantage accrues from our running after the materialistic, flimsy, silly pleasures. Will not stand in good state, will not stand us in good state, will not last long. So this is the statement of Vedanta Deshika himself.
Amrita Swadhini.
Amrita Swadhini.
அதுல 4 15 16 17 18 19 இருக்கு.
Oh. So thanks to Rajagopalan Swami for the timely help.
இல்ல 32 இருக்குது.
Timely help.
37 இருக்கு. இல்ல 15 16 கூட இருக்கு.
Oh. So let us go to the next page. So 179. So வேதத்தரலில் விதி உணர்ந்தோர்கள் விரித்துரைத்த காதற்கதியையும் ஞானத்தையும் கர்மங்களையும் சாதிக்க வல்ல சரணாகதி தனி நின்ற நிலை ஓதத் தொடங்கும் எழுத்து இன்று திறத்திலும் உணர்மின்களே. ஓதத் தொடங்கும் எழுத்தின்றிரத்திலோ உணர்மின்களே, இடத்தில் உணர்மின்களே. So வேதத்திரளில் விதி உணர்ந்தோர்கள். I think this I will read the second one also. மூவுலகும் தன்பழையை தானே சாற்ற முனிவர்களும் தேவர்களும் முனிந்தவன் நாள் தாவரிதா எங்கும் போய் தளர்ந்து விழுந்த தனிக்காகத்தான் இறந்த உயிர் வழங்கி காவலினி எமக்கெங்கும் கடன் என்றெண்ணி காணநிலை இலச்சினை அன்றிட்ட வள்ளல் ஏவல் பயன் இறக்கும் இது காரன்றோது போதும் எழிலுடையார் இணையடிக்கு இருப்போ நாமே. So these three are given, as you said, Amrita Swadhini. Okay. So வேதத்திரளில் விதி உணர்ந்தோர்கள். Let us take the meaning in the page, bottom of the page. வேத சமூகங்களில், that means in the scriptures, சேதனர்களின் உஜ்ஜீவனத்திற்காக, in order to redeem the individual souls, namely sentient beings, சொல்லி இருக்கும் விதிகளை, the rules and regulations and injunctions said in the scriptures, உள்ளபடி உணர்ந்த பூர்வர்கள், those who have understood, namely the previous preceptors, பூர்வர்கள் meaning the previous, what you call the predecessors, who have understood properly, correctly, the injunctions of the scriptures. And so Bhagavad Gita அதன் பாஷ்யம் முதலியவற்றில் விரிவாக உரைத்த these preceptors, former preceptors have studied Ramanujacharya's Gita Bhashyam, Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam. They have understood the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. விரிவாக உரைத்த பக்தி யோகம், ஞான யோகம், கர்ம யோகம். Ramanujacharya elaborated on these three disciplines in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So, Virivaha Oraita Bhakti Yogam. So, it is, given in reverse order. So, Bhakti Yogam, Jnana Yogam, Karma Yogam. So, because Bhakti Yogam is the final yoga discipline. After that, we have in our Sampradaya Prapatti Yoga. So, Jnana Yogam, Karma Yogam. So, first, these three must be understood. இவற்றை நிறைவேற்றி வைப்பதற்கு சாதனமாக, in order to carry out, to execute this discipline which we have understood. So, sadhanamaha as an instrument, as a means, avargalale angigarikkappatta. So, all those previous preceptors, predecessors have accepted, have approved that Sharanagati ennum upayam. So, total surrender is the means as accepted by the previous preceptors. அவையுடன் மோட்சத்திற்கு தனி சாதனமாகவும் இருக்கும் பிரகாரத்தை பிரணவத்தில் தெரிந்து கொள்ளலாம். So we can understand, or rather previous preceptors understood very clearly that Sharanagati, the total surrender, is the best means for the moksha, for the beatitude, for the emancipation, for the liberation of the what you call births, in order to get freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Tani sadhanamaha, unique means, a unique methodology, unique process, extraordinarily good process. Swatantra sadhanamahu, it is also independent of anything else. So, prakarate, this method, pranavatil therindu kollalam. We can understand in the three letters combined into one syllable called pranava. So, வேதம் ஓதுவதற்காக முதலில் சொல்லப்படுகிற எழுத்தான பிரணவத்தில் சொல்லி இருக்கும் முறையில் தெரிந்து கொள்க. So, now you have to approach the preceptor to understand the pranava syllable, because it is said always in the beginning of the chanting of scriptures. Whenever the scriptures are chanted, the first syllable after the name of the Lord, Harihi, so we say the pranava. So this is the smaller paragraph which we saw just now, earlier. Now in the number 2, Moovalahum, that meaning Devataigal, Rishihal, Manushyargal ellorum. Heaven, the gods in heaven, Rishihal, the sages in everywhere, Manushyargal, the human beings on earth, ellorum, Moovalahum, the Sarga, Bhumi and Patala, we say, can say. So, Tangalude Pidayai, so they will realize their own mistake, meaning they so far did not do total surrender. So, these gods or deities, we say, gods and goddesses, the sages, the seers, and the human beings. So, they did not realize earlier that they must surrender to the Lord. So, now they have understood that they should feel like the crow in Ramayana. Kakattai rakshipadarku shaktiyatramiyai. So, they must understand that they could not protect the crow against Rama's arrow of Brahmastra. So, Tangale Sholli. So, they must report. They must give self-report. Tangale Sholli. Ni dushtan, unnai rakshikavum koodadu endru. So, they gave a flimsy reason. They gave false reason. All the gods, including Indra, the father of the crow, did not reveal that they are incapable of protecting the crow. They said, you are a bad person, you are of a bad character, and therefore we will not save you. Therefore, you should not be protected. So this is what they said. all people, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and all other gods, said to the crow that because you are a bad character, we cannot protect you. But they didn't reveal that their own helplessness. Akinchanyam or Karpanyam, they didn't reveal to the crow. Of course, the crow also could understand that they are not capable of protecting him. So, ni dushtan unnai rakshikavum koodadu. So you are a wicked person and therefore you must not be protected. This is what all the gods said. Indra, Shiva, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma and others. So Endru Kovittu kondu. So they made rather their face angry. So it was only an acting face. So as though they have become angry with the crow. So Kovittu kondu. They feigned anger. F-E-I-G-N-E. They feigned anger. And then Kovittu kondu tallina. They pushed him aside. They pushed him down. Tallina anda kalathil. So in those days when crow tried to get protection from any other god, so tanguvadarku oru idam agapadamal engum suttri. So he could not find a place to stay and get protection from some other god. So he could not find out agapadamal engum suttri is also Alvan, I think Deshika's words. Engum suttri, he roamed all the worlds. Engum suttri, everywhere he wandered. He wandered everywhere. Then Tan Tiruvadigalil Vizhunda. We will go to the next page. Tan Tiruvadigalil Vizhunda. Rama's divine feet were resorted to by the crow. Oppilla Papiyan. Now we saw the word adjective to Rama. Oppilla Villaliyana. Oppatra Villaliyana. So Oppilla Papiyan. The vast difference between the Lord Protector and the crow. So Oppilla Papiyan. The grave sinner. There is an unparalleled grave sinner. He is an unparalleled grave sinner. There is no simile for him. There is no standard of comparison for him because he has committed such a great sin. Mahapatakam. So Oppilla Papiyana, because he is an unparalleled sinner, Anda Kakasuran, that demon crow, that crow demon, Veroru Purushagaram Illamal, because he had no other mediator also. He did not approach goddess Mahalakshmi in the form of Sita. So Veroru Purushagaram Illamal, so he had no recommending authority. Tane Iranda Pranane Kuduthu. Tane Irandu, he begged. Iranda meaning begged. Pranane Kuduthu, he gave up his life. So that is, he was submitting his life. So Avvalavil tan karunyam adangamal. Now the word Pranane Kuduthu meaning Rama also released his soul free. He was allowed to live further. Rama did not kill the crow. Tane Iranda, because he himself, crow itself begged. So Pranane Kuduthu, so he gave back the life. Avalavil tan karunyam adangamal. Rama felt that his mercy is not sufficient to protect him. So Avalavil, so at that time, in that context, tan karunyam adangamal. He could not resist the temptation of giving the refuge to the crow. Nam Tiruvadigalil Vizhunda ivanai எப்போதும் காப்பாற்ற வேண்டுவது நம் கடமை என்று எண்ணி. Rama felt very deeply. He felt that he is sorry that he has not been protecting him earlier. So now that in future also the crow will be protected. So Nam Thiruvadigilil Vizhunda Ivanai, because he fell down at my feet. So எப்போதும் காப்பாற்ற வேண்டுவது, all time protection is to be given, and that is my duty. Nam kadamai endru enni. So he thought that his duty is to protect him in future also, because the problem will be again there, as we already understood in some cases like Vibhishnadvan also. Because if some harm is done to Vibhishnadvan after protection is extended, that will be the infamy of Rama. Because Vibhishnadvan helped Rama to fight with Ravana, and in that process of the war between Ravana and Rama, Vibhishnadvan would have been harmed by somebody, some enemy from the side of Ravana. So he would have been targeted, like people like demons from demons like Indrajit. So oru tavaru seidu oru kannai izhandom. So the crow felt, so I lost one eye because of one single mistake. Of course, grave sin. Oru tavaru seidu, after committing a grave sin, oru kannai izhandom, I lost one eye. Ini veroru idathil tavaru seidal, supposing in future I would commit the same sin in some other place, in some other context, to some other person, mattondrum pom, the other eye also will be lost. Endru anji, because that kind of fear, இந்த காகம் தவறு செய்யாமல் க்ஷேமமா இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று கருதி. Rama also gave him the fear of thought that if at all he commits another kind of same kind of sin another time, then he would be losing the vision, total vision, and therefore so he gave him good thoughts. Rama gave the crow good thoughts, and then க்ஷேமமா இருக்க வேண்டும் என்று கருதி. So he felt that crow should live happily later. ஒரு கண் குருடனாக இருக்கை என்கிற அடையாளத்தை, so ஒரு கண் குருடனாக, we called it as kanaha in Sanskrit, K-A-N-A, kanaha, munushina, kanaha, one-eyed person. So ஒரு கண் குருடனாக இருக்கை என்கிற அடையாளத்தை, crow is called kanaha. So அடையாளத்தை அவன் சரணமடைந்த காலத்தில், at the time of his surrender, so he was given the identity. The Aadhaar card is only one eye vision. So அடையாளத்தை அவன் சரணமடைந்த காலத்தில் அனுகிரகித்த பரம உதாரணான பெருமாளுடைய கைங்கரியமே பரம பிரயோஜனம். In the concluding chapter of this Abhaya Pradana Saram, we are talking of Rama's munificence, generosity, broad-mindedness, and sympathy towards the crow, because Vibhishnadvan did not commit any mistake and surrender. Vibhishnadvan himself felt that he wasted his lifetime and came late to the divine feet of Rama. That's what he felt. He regretted that he came late. Whereas this crow has done the mistake. So that is the reference. So even though the crow has done the mistake, grave sin, so anugrahita, Rama blessed, parama udarana, highly generous, Perumalude Kainkaryame, Vedanta Deshika says Perumalude Kainkaryam, as though the devotee is given done service by Lord Rama. That is the greatness of the protector. Lord himself condescends too low in order to help the devotee, and therefore he feels that he is the slave of the devotee. Sharanagata Vatsalaha, we say, generally Sharanagata Vatsalaha, he is affectionate towards the surrenderer, but Sharanagata Adhinaha, Sharanagata Adhina. He has become a slave to the surrenderer. So, Kainkari me Parama Prayojanam. That is the greatest advantage that we get out of surrender. Avvallaluடைய கிருபையே இந்த மகாபலத்திற்கு உபாயம். Though we say in earlier context, even in this page, the last page, we saw that Jnana Yogam, Bhakti Yogam, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga are the first three means. And then finally, Prapatti Yoga is the Sharanagati is the final means, Sharanagati Upayam. And as Swami Deshika already averred in AVERRED, averred in Nasavimshati, that the very Lord is the Upayam. Lord Sriman Narayana or Lord Sri Rama is the Upayam. So here we say, Kripa is Upayam. His sympathy is the Upayam. The mercy of Lord Rama is the means for the surrenderer's great strength. So the crow had the audacity and courage to go back with one eye vision, in spite of the fact that it deserved more punishment. And therefore, because he has committed a grave sin, so in spite of this fact, now the crow has gained strength, at least a little, because of the mercy of the Lord. Avvallaluடைய கிருபையே. So Avvallal is a very great munificent person. So Rama had pity over him. So he blessed him, and therefore that becomes the upayam for Mahabala, the great strength. Ippadi upadeshikkum acharyaruடைய. So these are all the ideas of Natha Muni, Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya, and all others. So he followed, Swami Deshika followed very strictly their advice, and then Acharya Tiruvadigalin kizhe iruppo. So let us all salute the divine feet of all the Acharyas, and we will always take shelter under the shadow of the preceptors, all previous preceptors' divine feet. So avargalai anuvartittu kondu sukhame iruppom endrubadi. Having followed them in toto, that is in letter and spirit, let us all be happy. So avargalai anuvartittu kondu, let us follow them very strictly, closely, and then we will be happy. Sukhame iruppom endrubadi. So we have
Vatsalaha, Saranagata Vatsalaha, correct. Adhinahangaradu eppadi adu match பண்றீங்க?
அதுதான் பக்த பராதீனஹான்னு வேர்டு.
ஓகே.
அதனால பக்தங்கிறது இந்த இடத்துல பக்தங்கிறது சரண்டரர்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
பக்த பராதீன சான்ஸ்கிரிட்ல வேர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க ஆச்சாரியா.
இல்ல அப்படி இல்ல. அதீனங்கிறது நீங்க ஸ்லேவ் அப்படின்னுங்க பாத்தீங்களா?
ஆமா ஆமா, நேச்சுரலி
பக்தனுடைய ஸ்லேவ் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி வருதேன்னு பார்த்தேன்.
ஆமா, திருமழிசை ஆழ்வாருக்கு சொன்ன வண்ணம் செய்த பெருமாள்.
ஓஹோ, அது இது அழகு.
யதோக்தகாரி. கணிகண்ணன் போகின்றான் காமர பூங்கச்சி மணிவண்ணா நீ கிடக்க வேண்டா. So he got up. மணிவண்ணா நீ கிடக்க வேண்டும். Again he reclined.
பக்த பராதீனங்கிறதுனாலதான் விட்டல் கூட அவனுக்கோசரம் நின்னா, புண்டலீகனுக்கோசரம் அவன் அப்பா அம்மா சர்வ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் அங்கே இருந்து அவரை பாக்குறதுக்கோசரம் தான் பெருமாள் நின்னுண்டார். விட்டல் பக்த பராதீனன் அவன். அதனாலதான் நான் அது
இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். நீங்க சொன்னது அது ஒன் ஆஃப் தி எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ். Let us take all the Archavataras. All the Archavataras. Temples are meant for His grace to us. Ye Archavataram, Archa Rupam was taken by Him in all temples. Why? For our sake. So He is Bhakta Parathina. There is one best example given by Raghuramanji is Vittal, Pandaripuram. You know, the basic word from Vittal, I think I surmise, I think that it comes from the pranky, childish behavior of Lord Krishna. Vitaha meaning childish behavior with pranks. And I don't know how they... so Tamil la solran, Vidalai Payyan.
That is one of the meanings, okay. But the actual Vittal meaning is, he is very rigid to stand, I mean, to have the darshan of Pundalika. That is what he was. Vittal in Marathi, Atal. Atal means Pidivadam, rigid.
Right.
Pidivadam.
Right.
Atal, he is standing in a eent. Eent is a brick. Brick is called to be eent. Eental. Eentla Atala இருக்கிறதுனால வீட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவா மராட்டில வீட்டல். So he stands in the brick with rigidity to have the darshan of his devotees. So he has been given as a name Vittal.
Oh, V is a long vowel, huh?
No, it is a V. அட்டல்ங்கிறதுதான் ஈண்ட்டுங்கிறது வீண்ட்டுன்னு ஆயிடுச்சா வாளோட இதுல ஈண்ட்டுனாக்கா இட் இஸ் a brick. அத வீண்டல். That is become Vittal, Atal.
This is of Hindi origin.
Brick with a rigidity. பிடிவாதமாக அங்கேயே இருந்து அவனோட தர்ஷனத்தை பார்க்கறதுக்கோசம் இருக்கிறதுனால Vittal.
The பிடிவாதம் தான் நான் சொன்னேன் prank. பிடிவாதம், the adamantine attitude.
adamantna
This is positive adamant attitude. In order to bless the devotees, he stands as he says. So with all your blessings and active participation, we have come to the conclusion of the Abhaya Pradana Saram. Let us all recite the Taniyan. Kavitarikika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. And you also sing Rajagopala Swami.
Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Desikam Vadidivasiro Bhanga Panchanana Parakrama Sriman Venkatanathārya Chiram Vijayata Bhuvi. Sirundrudopul Tiruvengadamudayan Parondru Chonna Pazhamozhiyul Orondru Thane Amayado Tharani Vazhvarku Vanera Pomalavum Vazhvum.
Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya வேதாந்த குரவே நமஹ. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயண